my name's Henry Pyatt. I'm Mayor Peduto's Small Business and Redevelopment Manager. I'm here on Homewood Avenue in the Homewood section of Pittsburgh with Yahru Wilkerson. He's an entrepreneur here in this neighborhood, working with a lot of his other neighbors to get a bunch of great ventures started. And I wanted to have a little conversation today about your journey up to this point, where you're headed in the future, how you work together with other folks in your neighborhood and in the rest of the city, and how you've been able to take advantage of some of the resources that Pittsburgh has to offer to support entrepreneurs like yourself.
Definitely.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to kick it off with a couple questions. I just want to hear your story. That's the whole point. And the questions are really just meant as prompts. So take it where you want to take it in order to best explain how you got where you're at and where you're headed. So can you describe your journey in starting your business?
My journey got to start way back when I was a preteen, actually. We were in an after-school program that my mom put us in that got us familiar with entrepreneurship basics. We actually started out making products that we would sell in church events and stuff like that. So that just got my mind thinking of how I can be entrepreneurially successful, how to think, and just how I can create my own way in life. So that's how it started. And for the first venture, it's going to be the laundromat.
Awesome.
And it's going to be a cafe, laundromat together, kind of a mashup thing where people can relax and hang out and do a chore. And how I got to that point was I was brainstorming with my friends about how we can be our own young business owners. And we first thing I thought about was, what does my community need? And where can I fulfill that need in a way that is tangible and very practical? So as we were thinking, we thought that, you know what, I was like, wow, I have a lot of dirty clothes at home. Yeah. And the laundromat that's currently in our neighborhood isn't adequate in my sense of adequacy. So I said, that is a market gap, and let's try to fulfill it. So we said, okay, we're not just going to do the runabout laundromat. We want to take it the next step, because that's our mission anyway. That's our purpose, to take things a step further for our community. So we got to thinking about the laundromat, and that was about 2 years ago. And ever since that day, I've pretty much been working towards establishing that as my, primary, or I should say first business venture within the community.
So when did you get to the point between having those educational opportunities as a young person to realizing that entrepreneurship was the right path for you as an adult?
Probably it really made itself a necessity when I got into the workforce, and I realized the amount of work that I was doing for other people could also be equal to the amount I do for myself and my community at large. So I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna work for someone else, why not try to do my own thing and work for myself and establish something, because we all have to work, we all have to eat. So I'm like, I might as well try to do it for myself, as well as if I'm gonna work with other people. So that kind of brought me up to the point where it was like, okay, from that start when I was younger to right now, like that in between of entering the workforce and it becoming a reality, like I have to support myself, it was when it was like, okay, let me really buckle down and try to make something for myself.
Yeah, nice. What made you choose the business district here in Homewood as the place to open your venture?
That's a great question, because a lot of people often ask that because they see the state of my community as it is now, and they don't necessarily understand the prominence that it was once at and where I hope to bring it back to, or help to bring it back to. So it's very challenging. It has its own set of unique challenges, and but I can't ever leave where I grew up, because there's a lot of people that are just like me that have a lot of potential and have a lot of great ideas, but not necessarily the technical expertise to get it done. And if I can do it in Homewood with its limited resources, but actually it has a wealth of resources, if we know where to go and get them, there's no way I can get that type of knowledge and information and not bring it back to the people that need it most, where I've come from, that want a better standard of living for ourselves. So Homewood was just a natural selection for me as far as where I would want to put my first business, because our business needs to be that beacon of hope that people can look to get inspired for their own selves.
That's a great point. I'm really excited about how laundromat has the potential to contribute to the overall revitalization of Homewood beyond just your own and your business partner's financial well-being and providing a place for people to get a chore done. It's also the kind of service that people are going to look to, get excited about, and it's one of the things that'll help people want to purchase homes around here too. And we need both. We need businesses to serve the people. We need people to purchase from the businesses.
Exactly.
So thank you for fitting in that very important piece of the puzzle that nobody else is stepping up to the plate for quite the way you and your partners are.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you a little bit about the Small Business Resource Fairs.
Okay.
How'd you hear about it?
Actually, I heard about them, first of all, being active in the community, just looking for different resources of where I can draw from. And the Small Business Resource Fair actually came up in one of the HBBA meetings.
What's that stand for?
Homewood Brushton Business Association.
All right.
It's we started it about a year ago, and I think it was probably you dropped off a flyer to attend the resource fair, and I was like, you know what, I gotta go. I think one was over there on 8000 Susquehanna Street.
Yeah.
I remember that one vividly. And I went and I heard about it at the Homewood Brushton Business Association meeting.
Awesome. So what about those fairs was useful to you?
There was a lot of useful information in those fairs. One as far as permits are concerned,
and I believe you attended two of them, right? So you had the one at 7800 Susquehanna that was about people that help with business plans and design and marketing. And then you did the other one that was at the City County building that was about dealing with the regulatory environment of the city.
Exactly. And that's the one that I'm referring to with the permits.
Okay.
I think her name was Mora.
Yeah.
Mora. She was very helpful with the permits and things like that, because a lot of that stuff I just don't know about, as far as like I thought you could just purchase a building and then just put your business in there.
Right.
Not necessarily understanding the actual
permit and
and those technical things that sometimes we aren't too familiar with.
What advice would you have for other folks that are considering going down on a path like yours?
The first thing I would say is just really crystallize your vision of what you want your business to be, and kind of make that the driving force of whatever it is you want to do in entrepreneurship. Because without that vision, as I look around and look at North Homewood, without that vision, I wouldn't be able to keep the motivation that I need to be able to keep pursuing my personal dream. Other than that, I would say just really network with the right people, and going to the Small Business Resource Fairs is a great way to do that, because we don't necessarily have those connections within our immediate radius, whether it be Homewood or Lincoln or Larmer or whatever it might be. We don't necessarily have those connections. So go to those type of events like Small Business Resource Fairs, and just try to utilize as much of the knowledge that is being pushed our ways or pushed towards us, and really take advantage of that. Because without that know-how, we won't ever be able to move forward, because it'll be stuck in a dream phase, a dream state, and you don't want to be stuck there. That's where it starts, but you don't want to be stuck there. So definitely reach out and try to get to those resources.
So now that you're hooked in and you're able to take advantage of whether it's a little help with planning, working on your business plan, or a little help with figuring out your permitting, do you think that you're becoming somewhat of a small business resource evangelist or something?
Oh, definitely. Because like I said, we thought of the laundromat 2 years ago, and we're still working on it. I mean, it started as a vision, then it moved and progressed forward with the Urban Innovation Grant Competition in Homewood. We came in third place, so they helped us with our business summary and our financial projections.
Got a bronze medal in there somewhere?
Yeah. I'll have to show that the next time. You know what I mean? That was great. And we just kept involving ourselves into the things that were being presented to our community, even whether they were few or far between or all at once. We just jumped right in and just start to try to use them. So that's great. And just take it from there. But don't ever think that whatever is being presented can't benefit you in some type of way. I say pursue it. And you know what I mean, and keep going towards it, because if I can do it, I'm pretty sure anyone else can do it. It's, just got to put your mind to it and really go after it.
So what do you think about Pittsburgh compared to other cities as a place to start a small business?
I really like Pittsburgh. Of course, I'm native to Pittsburgh, so I'm slightly biased towards it. But I've traveled around, I've seen different cities, and I think Pittsburgh really has an understanding at this point that we need to be more inclusive into where the economic growth is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, if Google is going to be in East Liberty, which is practically adjacent to Homewood, they would want Homewood to have its own energy that they can draw from and be inspired and innovative from. You know what I mean? Especially if their employees or whoever wants to have some type of cultural awareness and understanding themselves about what Pittsburgh is about, where it's been and where it's going, we need to be a part of that conversation, and we need to have our own identity as far as that conversation is concerned also. So
start from a position of power.
Exactly, and we can tell our story and they can appreciate it and then want to be a part of what we're doing here also.
Right. Yeah, no, I like it. A partnership instead of nobody's leading, it's a team.
So Pittsburgh has that in mind, and we're heading in the right direction, and we got to continue to take the necessary steps to, like you said, empower the people that are of these communities and the people themselves taking ownership of where they want the community to go.
Heck yeah. So can you describe maybe a little more openly your vision for your business and what it's going to look like when it's open and successful?
Oh, definitely. I can talk about that for years. So the laundromat, we want it to be very, very modern as far as its design is concerned, incorporating all the technological state-of-the-art stuff as far as solar panels, rooftop gardens, even the architectural design itself. If we can have some type of paneling on the front that is solar, but it fits into the design, so where you might not even know unless we told you, kind of thing. You know, and also with the Wi-Fi connections and stuff like that, and we can actually host events to bring people in. If people wanted some technical expertise on how to do their business, we could host it right there in the laundromat. So it'll be a community hub as well as a serviceable business that we provide something to the community. So we want to touch on so many different aspects and at the same time be able to employ someone, employ ourselves, and just give that overall sense of confidence in your community that something positive is happening every single day. And no matter what, from this time to this time, the laundromat is going to be a fixed thing, a fixed business in your community that you can draw from, whether it be energy, whether it be technical expertise, whether it be getting your chore done. We just want to be that
I love that
point.
idea because, like, I feel like, especially when everybody's working 2 and 3 jobs, like just trying to, get their mortgage paid and keep everything moving. A lot of times, what people lose is time to connect with their friends, reflect, talk about ideas, and laundromat, I think, will provide an opportunity to do that because instead of having to find extra time in your schedule, you just take that laundry time and you leverage it, and you turn it into 2 benefits, right? You got clean clothes and you got to wrap with your friends,
Definitely, and that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Just using it to your best advantage, and just maximizing your potential and making it a tangible thing. Another
thing I think is real important, and I know that you agree, is having a network of businesses that are all working together. Because in the end, as a business community, we're all mutually interdependent on each other. So can you talk about how you work with some other businesses in your neighborhood and what those relationships are like?
Oh, most definitely. I work with countless businesses within the neighborhood. One of them is Knott's Land. They make bow ties.
Like that one?
This one. I work with Tanisha to, actually go over some stuff that I might be better at that she's not as good with while she handles the creative stuff. You know what I mean? Whether it be financial spreadsheets or just even helping her to strategize her upcoming month. You know what I mean? Because these are the things that her being the only person in her business, she would need help with, and I can help also, and she can give back to me. So we have to be cooperative in that effort to just share the information. With another one, there's Oasis is down the street where you can get some live music. I was actually there on Thursday night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got to listen to some live music, art. They make their own sangrias, you know what I mean? That's always awesome. So there's a multitude of businesses popping up that are already established. Dana's Bakery, I frequent there often to get, a donut in the morning, and I just want to patronize their business because they've been a part of the community for so long, and they're what inspired me to want to keep going on and knowing that it's possible to have my own business. So even in that way is helping another business because I'm actually, buying their products.
So can you tell me a little bit more about the Homewood Brushton Business Association?
Oh, the Homewood Brushton Business Association, what I'm actually the treasurer of. We're about 1 year in now, and we're just working closely with the city, with other small nonprofit organizations.
Operation Better Block.
Operation Better Block being one of them. Just whoever's in the community to really focus on what the business district needs, as far as one of them might be lighting, something might be like safety, another thing might be, for instance, we might want a new facade for the laundromat.
Right.
We could go to the business association for information. They might have a direct contact we can speak to, and they can back us in our endeavors to give us some legitimacy to what we think we want. And also, it's just a way that the community can come and get that type of guidance that they need if they want to have certain business endeavors done, or if they've been kind of lobbying for something that they thought was in their best interest. They can come to the association, present it to us. If we think it's a great idea, then we can move on and try to drum up support for them and get that thing done. Basically, it's just a place where entrepreneurs, business owners can come together, share ideas, and really have one cohesive voice that we can, voice our opinions to the people that need to hear it.
Right.
And then we can all just be one collective mindset, one group.
Yeah. I heard you guys had some involvement with the Harambe Festival this summer as well.
Yeah, that was great. That was awesome. The Harambe Festival, which went down in end of July.
Yeah.
I think it was a huge success. The Homewood Brushton Business Association sponsored a basketball game actually between the Zone 5 police officers and some of the youth within the community. Homewood won. I like to throw that out there.
Hometown team. Yeah.
Hometown team got the W, and that was pretty cool because it let everyone connect on a neutral platform that was common to everyone, which is basketball, which is fun, and it was against people that are usually opponents. Well, they shouldn't be looked at as opponents, but sometimes that's how it's perceived as opponents. On an everyday life, they got to see everyone in a very humanistic aspect. Like, oh, you like basketball, I like basketball. You sweat, I sweat. Yeah, we're pretty much the same people. We just got to get to know each other and come together and understand that, we're all in it for the same thing. Let's kind of get to know one another and build a real personal relationship that when they are policing the community, we respect them, and when they're patrolling the community, they respect the citizens. And you can only do that by knowing one another and coming together on common grounds. And I think by sponsoring that basketball game was a step in the right direction. Yeah. And a way to start from. And at least everyone gets to know, not everyone, or whoever was there. Yeah, we get talking. Oh, I know your face. I seen you. I finger rolled on you. Was it that you? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But yeah, it was great.
So, back to the entrepreneurship. What's the greatest success that you've achieved so far as an entrepreneur that you're the most proud of?
What I'm most proud of is actually just getting the stuff down on paper, being tangible, and being able to present it in front of whether it be banks, whether it be Urban Innovation 21 in the grant competition, Operation Better Block, the mayor's office, whatever it may be, just getting that done and saying that we have a definite plan. We have a goal that we want to achieve, and here it is, and we know how to do it. We just need help getting to a certain point to where we can take off. And as well as, I think, inspiring the people around me to want to think about what they can do for their own stuff. Even if, like, for Tanisha, for instance, she always, with Knotsland, she was working hard on her business, but it was more so of a hobby. And when she seen what I was doing as far as pursuing my idea as a real business endeavor, she got inspired and was like, you know what, I should do that too, because this is something that a lot of people like and it can take off. So she got inspired to want to be her own business, and now she's her own entity, you know what I mean? So I think that's an accomplishment for me, because if I wouldn't have kept pursuing my goals and dreams, maybe she would have got discouraged and was like, you know what, it is very hard, or I just like to do this just for people I know, you know what I mean? But now she's thinking about it on a broader spectrum. We're all thinking about ways to really be profitable in our endeavors. So I think that's a great accomplishment and a testament to hard work and vision.
Speaking of Tanisha, I was really impressed by her web store that she's got running now. And you were telling me earlier that you and Tanisha were able to take advantage of a program called Q. Connecting urban entrepreneurs. Can you tell me a little bit about that program, what your experience was like with it?
Oh man, Q Pittsburgh was great. It was just I think sponsored by Chatham College.
Yeah, Chatham was involved.
Chatham,
Google was involved.
Google.
Deborah, my colleague from the city of Pittsburgh.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those core group of people, they were very helpful in just not letting us, but showing us how important it is to have a presence online and to have a professional appearance for that website. And they took us from absolutely nothing up until a very workable website that people can come to, see our product, see our vision, and it's something that we control. It's our creative visions, but they empowered us to be able to do it with the know-how of getting a website, designing it, how to even embed a link to somewhere else. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
It's amazing what a little education can unlock.
Just a little education. And it was a 12-week process. We stuck with it. It was trying at times because, of course, when you're trying to grapple new information, there's always going to be a small learning curve that you got to get over. But they were always very helpful, and they always presented the information in a way where it wasn't, you should already know this. It was like, where are you right now with what you know, and we're going to take you to the next level, opposed to why don't you already know how to embed a link.
So I remember being over there, and there was like 50 people in the room, and there was about 10 people learning to build a web page. What was the support system like, and what were all those people doing?
Oh, that was great. I mean, it really gave us an opportunity to touch base with the experts in this field. And it was actually industry specific. For instance, I'm in the service industry, for instance, with the laundromat. Tanisha's in the fashion industry. But either way, they were able to give us specific information about our industries that was very helpful and beneficial, especially to how we wanted our brand to connect with our consumers. So that was very helpful. And then on the as far as the website itself is concerned, I mean, anything we wanted to know or do, they were right there, very responsive to our needs. So that was an invaluable lesson, and I'm glad I was there. I would say I'm very glad I was able to be a part of that. Pilot program. It was a pilot program too.
It was awesome.
So,
I was impressed by it.
Hopefully they take it to the next level next year, because it was successful this year, I believe.
Yeah, let's blow it up. So what else do you think the city can do to help small businesses and entrepreneurs in general?
What the city can do itself, I mean, there's a lot of projects I think the city could take on as far as real estate is concerned.
Okay.
Because as you can see, we have a few buildings that need some help. They're not necessarily bad buildings.
Right.
They just need help and focus on bringing them up to the point where people see them as attractable and want to know, like it sparks their imagination on, oh, what can this be? So if the city could help
draw positive attention.
Draw positive attention to some buildings or some landscapes that might not seem as inviting. I think that will go a long way as to bringing people into, even if they're passing through on their daily commute and it's something different about that building, they might even want to say, oh, wow, what's that about? And then next time they might see an actual business in that building and they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's been progressing. Like I've seen that people care about what's going on in the neighborhood. I see people care about the image of the neighborhood, and I think that the city can help with that, and keep building those relationships, like with Homewood Brushing Business Association did with the basketball game as far in Zone 5. Keep building on those relationships, because we're going to need those in the near future when this business district is humming and is buzzing. We're going to need those type of relationships to be strong, so there's not any tragic misunderstandings. So I think that'll go a long way. And to continue to just be around. You know, not just make it a one-time kind of thing. Just continue to be around and continue to, push the progress, stoke the flame, so to say, under the people and under the elected officials to keep putting that positive energy back into the community and keep building and building, so that the next generation that comes up, they won't even know that there was a lot there 20 years ago, because now it's just a fully thriving business district. So just stay around, stay consistent, build on relationships, and just help with the overall image of where we want to be and buy into the vision that we have.
We are here. We want to be partners for sure, and I'm really appreciative personally of the HBBA's ability to kind of articulate those needs and desires, because without people grouping up, whether it's businesses or PTA people or people who want to improve their homes or whatever the group is organized around, we don't know how to be the most helpful. But when people get together and define their concerns as a group and work them out and come to a consensus, then, it makes our job a lot easier.
Definitely.
But another thing you mentioned earlier that I wanted to ask about was 7800 Susquehanna Street.
Definitely.
My understanding is that that's, I think it was a water meter factory.
Before my time.
Yeah, well, mine too, yeah. But now it's being operated by Bridgeway Capital. They went and spent some money on the building, got it up into a condition where it was running. There's a bunch of different businesses over there.
Yeah.
I was curious what you think, what do you know about that project? What do you think about that project?
As far as I know, they're focusing on manufacturing, small business manufacturing within that old factory, which makes sense, like a warehouse type of setting. I took a walking tour of it. They have a lot of open space where people can come in, and I think it's a very positive thing for the community, especially on an industrial level like that. It could be 5 floors, like about, I'm just speaking off the top of my head, about 100,000 square feet on each floor. It's a lot of opportunity for people with ideas to manufacture things to go into, and I think it's all positive, and I just want to see them continually put that out there that they are here, and it's very affordable as far as what I know, as far as the space is concerned, because they can customize it for whatever your business might be.
I'm excited personally because, historically Homewood was a place where we had a lot of industry and we had a lot of commerce, right? So people that live around here could get everything they needed on Homewood Avenue, Frankstown, Brushton, maybe Kelly, and people could get a good job here, right? They go down by the railroad tracks. There's a bunch of different factories, a bunch of places to get solid employment. Well, now we got some solid manufacturing businesses growing. We got some people like you working on businesses that are going to fill the main street back in. And we're coming at it from all sides. And it's really exciting to me to see this momentum from multiple quadrants. There's also some really good housing programs going on too that are going to bring a couple more residents or help people who are maybe like living with an aunt or parents or whatever be able to get into their own place up the block or some other place in the neighborhood. So all these things combined are real exciting. It's not any one of them, it's all of them together, happening slowly together in concert. That really excites me. So what do you think other people should know about the Small Business Resource Fairs? Or if you ran into somebody someplace and they were like, what's that all about? What would you tell them?
First and foremost, I would tell them it's a great place to meet the right people. Awesome. The people that you need to talk to about a specific need that your business is going to have fulfilled from the public sector. The Small Business Resource Fair is optimal because it gives you a personal introduction to the person that's calling the shots, that's going to be able to make that decision, and you'll see results in a short amount of time. You need information on permits, for instance? Here you go. This is the whole packet. I'm the person you need to talk to. This is how it gets done. Let me know when you've reached step 1 and I'll take you on to step 2. It's like that's what the Small Business Resource Fair does, and it's awesome in its own right because it's a close-knit bunch of individuals that even though they're in a certain department, they're not compartmentalized. So they're sharing information with one another, they're communicating with one another. So if the same business is going to different departments for its needs, then they can put them all on the table and say, okay, what do they need done? And be able to go through it as one business and what they need and get it done collectively.
Awesome.
I know my community very well, and my community, I think, knows me very well. So, and they trust me. So if I can say I trust what the Small Business Resource Fair is doing, and the community trusts me, it kind of makes it a little bit easier for them to want to bridge that gap and approach them and say, you know what, I need help. Because sometimes, like myself included, we're a little prideful and we're like, I know how to do this.
Nobody knows everything.
But nobody knows everything. And if you think you have a question or something that you might want answered, at least go there because, I went there and it helped me out and I've at least come this far. So that's why I wanted to do it, just to give it, give it the hood pass.
Yeah.
They got the hood pass. They cool, you know what I mean? Yeah, they'll help you out and they'll point you in the right direction, and you should be able to be very effective in what you want to get accomplished. So that's why I wanted to do it myself.
Well, for that exact reason, I really appreciate you participating in this conversation. We're really just trying to get the word out there, right? We're trying to reach out in any which way we can to let everybody know about these events and all the different, not just city resources, but all the different nonprofit resource providers that we have in the city that have been doing a great job for a long time, but not everybody knows about,
Definitely.
So I really appreciate your help in that endeavor.
No problem.
Thank you very much,
Whatever
Mr.
I
Hood
can do to
Wilkerson.